far beyond the restless waves of the vast, unending sea, lies a hidden place, a tranquil world untouched by time, where soft, whispering breezes carry the sweet scent of fragrant blossoms, and salt-kissed air mingles with the delicate hum of nature's lullaby. This is the island of Calypso, a realm that rests like a jewel beneath a canopy of cerulean skies, cradled by gentle cliffs dipped in golden sunshine. The island breathes a quiet, soothing rhythm as emerald woods sway softly, and radiant flowers bloom in quiet defiance of the endless march of days. Here, the sea is a calm companion, its waves tenderly folding onto shores of ivory sand, inviting weary souls to rest beneath the dappled shade of olive trees and the gentle gaze of the sun. In this peaceful refuge, time itself seems to slow, wrapped in an eternal twilight where day softly melts into night, and night cradles day in its quiet embrace. This is where our story begins, on an island at once both distant and deeply woven into the fabric of ancient tales, where the goddess Calypso dwells. She is a figure of mystery, both a keeper of solitude and a stirring of gentle longing, her presence as timeless as the slow, steady breath of the earth, her eyes, deep and knowing, mirror the vastness of the ocean, reflecting both its restless strength and its tender stillness. Calypso's island is alive with enchantment, a sanctuary where luxuriant groves blend seamlessly into sparkling springs, where the days are filled with a soft, golden light that filters through leaves, casting dreamy patterns on the mossy ground. It is a place carved from myth itself, a realm where reality and the divine meet beneath the same sky and within the same soothing breeze. Into this serene world floated a man whose name would be whispered across lands and seas, a wanderer, a seeker, a hero burdened by longing and memory. Odysseus, noble in heart and keen of mind, came to rest in Calypso's embrace. His journey was long and weary, a voyage colored by battles fought beneath storm-laden clouds and nights spent in the company of shadows. He carried home within him, like a flame barely held alight, a yearning for the shores of Ithaca, for the kind visage of his wife, Penelope, and the laughter of his son, Telemachus. Yet here, upon this island, where time unspooled in gentle waves, Odysseus found himself tethered, not by chains, but by enchantments woven from the delicate threads of divine longing and mortal fate. Calypso, with her voice soft as twilight and hands as tender as the ocean's whisper, held him in a kind of suspended sleep, a timeless lull between the storms of his past and the untold moments waiting beyond the horizon. In her company, the world was muted to a slow, rhythmic pulse, the sigh of the sea, the call of the hidden nightingales in the groves, the gentle murmur of leaves stirred by the evening breeze. Each day dawned like a whispered promise. Each night wrapped the island and its inhabitants in a soothing cloak of stars. The gentle goddess would speak to Odysseus of immortality and peace, of a life unbound by the pain and weariness that shadowed mortal men. Her words floated through the fragrant air, a lullaby meant to ease the ache in his heart, to soften the edges of his memories. And yet, beneath the calm surface of this enchanted existence, there stirred a quiet yearning, a testament to the resilience of the human spirit. Odysseus, though held in this paradise, held fast to the fragile embers of hope and home. His dreams, mingling with the sea breeze, carried over the waves beyond the horizon. The island, with its endless beauty and gentle embrace, was both a sanctuary and a silent prison. As evening light softened the edges of day, and the first stars began to twinkle like distant fires, Calypso's island seemed to breathe in tandem with its lone guest. Time unfolded as a slow, endless melody, a gentle weaving of night and day, dream and waking, longing and stillness. Here, in this place where the world seemed to pause, the stage was set for a tale as deep and enduring as the ocean itself, a story whispered in the voices of the waves and sung in the lullabies of the wind. This was the beginning of Odysseus's years on the island of Calypso, a chapter filled with quiet beauty, profound longing, and the tender dance between freedom and fate. As the days slipped gently into nights, and nights melted quietly back into soft dawns, the island of Calypso remained a world apart, a suspended moment held in the tender stillness of the sea and sky. Odysseus found himself adrift, not upon waves, but within time itself, caught in a delicate embrace where the ceaseless pulse of the tides seemed measured by the slow beating of his own heart. Calypso's island was woven from light and shadow, where towering trees swayed with a lullaby of whispered leaves, and the air was rich with the scent of blooming jasmine and the deepest honey sweetness of wild blossoms. The sea caressed the shore in rhythmic hushes, its gentle roar a constant companion, guiding Odysseus's breathing into a quiet cadence, as if nature itself conspired to soothe him into a peaceful respite. Calypso, the immortal nymph, was both a guardian and a captor. Her presence enveloped in a serene melancholy, a divine loneliness that shimmered beneath her glowing veil of ageless beauty. She watched Odysseus with soft, endless eyes that reflected the waves, a shimmer of empathy and eternal yearning stirring within. Though she held him in her delicate grasp, her affection was not imprisonment born of cruelty, but a longing to share with him a sanctuary beyond the reach of mortal woes, a refuge bathed in the gentle glow of eternal twilight. The goddess's voice, when she spoke, was like the caress of a breeze through ripe olives, soothing and melodic, wrapping around Odysseus like a tender balm. In these quiet days, Odysseus wandered between the sun-dappled groves and the crystal shores, tracing the slow pulse of life the island breathed, every moment stretched wide and full, inviting him to sink deeper into the embrace of this strange serenity. He learned to listen with new attentiveness to the soft susurration of leaves overhead, to the distant call of unknown birds that seemed born from ancient myth, to the invisible, sacred rhythms pulsing beneath the earth. Yet beneath this peace stirred a persistent ache, a thread of longing woven through the calm fabric of his days. The memory of home, its faces, its stories, its ever-turning seasons, never dimmed. It flickered within him like a steadfast flame, gentle but resolute, a beacon in the twilight of his exile. Calypso spoke often of immortality, of timelessness unmoored from the fragile rise and fall of human life. She spoke of the endless blossoming of the island, where no shadow fell too long and no sorrow lingered too deeply. To her, Odysseus was a light, bright, unpredictable, a spark of mortality glowing with a fierce warmth that both intrigued and moved her. She unfolded the tales of the stars above, tracing constellations with delicate fingers, revealing to him their silent stories spun in distant fires. Yet Odysseus's heart remained tethered to a world beyond this enchanted shore. He shared with Calypso memories of Ithaca's golden fields, the laughter echoing in sunlit halls, the whispered goodbyes beneath returning light. These were not complaints or cries of despair, but quiet truths carried on the gentle current of his voice. Between them grew a delicate understanding, a silent weaving of two worlds, mortal and divine, interlaced with threads of companionship and unspoken respect. Odysseus found solace in the rhythms of the island and in the profound stillness that allowed him to touch parts of himself long lost to war and wandering. He dreamt deeply as the stars wheeled overhead, of journeys yet to come, and of the fragile beauty of a life lived fully, even in exile. Time moved slowly here, like honey dripping from golden combs, thick and sweet, but inevitably passing. And in that slow passage, something tender blossomed, not a loud rebellion or frantic yearning, but a quiet acceptance of the moment, a deep listening to the pulse of being here, now. Yet the island itself was no mere paradise. It was alive with ancient power and whispered secrets from the earliest dawns of creation. The groves where Odysseus wandered held statues half swallowed by ivy, remnants of gods and heroes long forgotten. Crystals glimmered beneath the roots of ancient trees, ancient enchantments pulsing faintly like a heartbeat beneath the soil. The wind sometimes carried the faintest echoes of distant voices, sung prayers, or lost chants, that reminded Odysseus that the world beyond this island was vast and ever-changing. He knew that his time here, though sheltered and slow, was but a fragment in the long weave of fate. Still, in these quiet days, in the gentle hold of Calypso's gaze and the tranquil arms of the island, he found moments of peace, treasures of the soul to carry forward into the unknown days that awaited him. Their nights were touched with a different light, the moon above casting a silver glow upon calm waters, the stars like tiny, watchful eyes twinkling through fragrant groves. By the soft flicker of evening firelight, Calypso would sometimes sing, her voice a fragile thread that wove through the cool air, threads of ancient melodies that seemed to caress the very marrow of the earth. Odysseus would listen, sometimes humming faint replies, letting the music cradle the edges of his restless thoughts. In these moments, the silence between them grew rich and full, a tapestry of feeling that neither sought to rush or explain. It was enough simply to be present, to share the silence, the starry night, the slow, eternal breathing of the island. And so, in this deep stillness, Odysseus's spirit found its own kind of navigation, charting a course not across oceans or battles, but inward, through the shimmering layers of time and memory that surfaced here in the quiet embrace of Calypso's world. As the days slipped softly into years on Calypso's gentle island, a quiet rhythm settled over Odysseus's heart and mind. Time, once measured by the pulse of urgent longing, began to stretch and soften like the slow waves lapping at the shore beneath a sleepy sun. The island itself seemed a living lullaby. Breezes whispered through olive groves, and delicate flowers bloomed undisturbed, their fragrant petals releasing sleep's sweet invitation under the tender gaze of the moon. In this place, suspended between the edges of dreams and waking life, Odysseus found himself wrapped in a new kind of stillness, one that neither rushed nor restrained him, but simply held him as gently as the sea holds a shell. Calypso, the goddess of this hidden world, remained a constant presence, an echo of both solace and longing. She watched over Odysseus with a quiet tenderness, her heart woven with the threads of care and unspoken sadness for the man who had come so far from his own shores. In her eyes, he was not a prisoner, but a guest, embraced by time's soft embrace. A soul caught between the ache for home and the mysterious peace that only her island could offer. Their days passed in a delicate dance of companionship, quiet conversations woven through the golden light of dawn and the silvery hush of twilight. The island's magic hummed beneath their words, a silent promise that here for now there was no need to hurry, no need to fight against the slow unfolding of life's quiet moments. And yet, beneath the calm surface, the yearning that had carried Odysseus across seas and storms remained, a gentle undercurrent pulling at the edges of his dreams. Memories of Ithaca, the olive trees, the laughter of loved ones, the salty wildness of his homeland rose quietly in his thoughts like embers glowing softly in a dark hearth. He spoke to Calypso of these things sometimes, his voice low and wistful. She listened without judgment, her own heart full of compassion for the man who wrestled so tenderly with time and desire. She understood that love, in its most profound form, was not ownership, but release. And so her gift to him was both sweet and bittersweet, the chance to gather strength here, to heal and hope, knowing that one day the tides of destiny might carry him back to where he truly belonged. The island, with its endless sapphire skies and silver-streaked nights, held the delicate balance between holding on and letting go. Each sunset melted softly into moonlight, and each moonrise breathed a cool calm over quiet coves and soft sands. Odysseus would walk slowly along the shore, the rhythm of the waves matching the steady beating of his heart. It was here, in these whispered moments between night and day, that he understood the depth of his own journey. Not merely the miles traveled across unfamiliar seas, but the passage through longing, acceptance, and gentle surrender to the unknown. In the silent beauty of one twilight, as stars began their slow, tender dance across the heavens. Odysseus sat with Calypso beneath the shade of a venerable oak, its limbs arching like protective arms above them. The air was sweet with the scent of blooming jasmine, and the island seemed to breathe with them in that shared stillness. Calypso's voice, soft and warm, carried the quiet truth she had always held, that love could take many forms, sometimes found in the passion of a moment, sometimes in the slow unfolding of days, and sometimes in the knowing that the heart must wander before it may rest. She spoke not to bind, but to free, to honor the restless spirit that had crossed the wide seas to her sacred shore. As the night deepened, Odysseus felt a calm settle fully over his soul, a gentle certainty that the journey, though far from over, was no longer a burden, but a quiet unfolding of the self. There was peace in this, the kind that softly embraces the edges of a weary mind, inviting dreams to come like a warm tide ebbing over the sands. The island would always hold him with its timeless grace, but the horizon was no longer a distant pain. It was a gentle promise, a whisper carried on the breeze that he might one day sail home. And so, as you listen now, imagine the soft sigh of waves beneath a velvet sky, the rustling of leaves in a slow, tender wind. Let your mind drift gently to that hidden shore, where the light of countless stars twinkles quietly in the calm sea, where time moves like a lullaby breathed softly by ancient gods. Feel the soothing warmth of the island's embrace wrapping around you, and know that you, too, can find peace in the stillness between breaths, a place where hope and rest meet in a quiet harmony. As your eyes grow heavy and your thoughts slow, like a peaceful river winding toward sleep, carry with you the gentle story of Odysseus and Calypso's island, a tale of patience, of love that does not clutch but cradles, and of the quiet magic found in simply being. Drift now, softly, into dreams where the sea sings a soft song under starlit skies, where the heart's longing is met with kindness, and where every breath invites you deeper into rest. Sleep well, held in the gentle calm of this timeless island, and may your dreams be as soothing as the whispering breeze on Calypso's shore.